Good morning. Welcome to January 1st, 2010. It's the first morning of a new decade. It's the first morning of the PrimalStride's 5 at 5 challenge. Although for me, it's the 2 at 7 challenge. And that may have to change now that I realized that the sun isn't going to be up early enough, and it's not going to give me enough time in the morning. But we'll talk about that later. For now, let's just enjoy this beautiful freshly fallen snow at the beginning of a beautiful and fresh new year. It's about 7:45 in the morning. Obviously, with New Year's Eve, I wasn't quite able to meet the 7 a.m. target that I was hoping for, but I did pretty good. I was actually up at 7:20. By the time I managed to find myself a good pair of socks, get all my stuff together without waking up the sweet mama and the little wolf cubs, I'm out here and beginning my journey. 7:45. This is the sliding hill. So far, the kids are starting about halfway up the hill, even though the trail goes right to the top. They're finding that it's quite exciting to start halfway up, and it gets them pretty much to where I'm standing almost. And if their huge bump wasn't right there, I'm sure they'd make it all the way down towards our chicken coop. But this is a lot of fun. And we're going to be taking a stroll up the hill a little bit later on. Maybe not today, maybe later this week, but you'll get to see some of the hill in action. But for now, we're going to head out into the back 40 and give you a bit of a tour. So come on, let's go. This is a glimpse of winter in the Muskokas. It gives you an idea of why we love it so much here. Even though the sun's not shining today, there's a beautiful gentle snow falling. The trees are covered in frost and snow, and even without the leaves, the forest is a beautiful place to be. It's quiet, still, peaceful. This part of the forest is made up primarily of spruce, balsam, aspen, the odd tamarack. You can see the tamaracks there. They're coniferous trees that actually lose their needles for the winter. Rather unusual. They are beautiful trees. Here we've arrived at the cutting station for the firewood. You can actually make out some wood under this pile waiting to be cut and split. In the distance, you can see the area where the wood is stacked to dry for the summer. It's hard to make out a lot of it because of the snow, but also you can see some of the wonderful black cherry trees that grow around here as we're heading into the more deciduous area of the forest. The black cherries tend to be very gnarly and twisted, a lot of character. So let's journey on towards the ridge and have a look up there. Here the trail branches into the the ridge portion of our property. We can see the nature of the forest changing already. We've got more deciduous trees, including the ever popular paper birch, golden birch, even the odd silver birch. A lot of maple, red maple mostly, and a bit of whew, this is a hill. A little bit of sugar maple as well. We have some young oak and beech trees up here. Now if we continued on down the other side of the ridge, that would take us further back on the property. At this point we've come about half a kilometer from the house. We're going to follow along the right. This ridge will take us up behind the house back towards the road. So we're going to go along here and we'll stop at the high point of the ridge and take a nice vista from there. Wow, it's hard to make this tape when I'm out of breath like this, but it's good. I hope you're enjoying it. I know I am. Talk to you soon. This is probably the second highest elevation on our property. Although it's the most accessible of the two high points. And it's probably only about 5 feet less than the other, which is a huge rock outcropping that sticks up just through the trees over there somewhere. It's pretty hard to make out at this point. If it wasn't for the accessibility issue, this would be a wonderful place to have a home. Clear a few of these trees out, have a wonderful easterly view. Can't imagine the sunrises, how beautiful they would be to wake up to. And there's also a wonderful view off to the west. You can see the next ridge over, and there's a valley down in between there. And for those of you who have followed our adventures regarding getting high-speed wireless internet, this is the direction that the nearest tower is in, somewhere over in the distance here. On a clear day I can actually see it from this area. And this part of the ridge stands between our house and that signal. Hence our lack of ability to achieve wireless at this point. But thankfully, cellular has met our needs. Good morning, bird. Happy New Year. Have no idea what kind of bird that was, but he sounds friendly enough. Let's continue. Here we see some evidence of other visitors. The deer frequently run through this area. You can see that their trails wander through this area quite regularly. They obviously haven't been here since yesterday sometime, with the tracks not being that fresh, but coming to the top of the toboggan run now. You can see that my nephew is braver with the snowmobile than I am. He actually helps pack down the trail and the toboggan run itself with his snowmobile. This is the upper starting point of the trail.